are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm hanging in there.
I'm so excited to be talking with you today.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. I gotta say, I just watched the new episode this morning, and it was really good. Really
Thank
good.
you very much. Yeah. It's we're taking a little bit to get into it, but once everything goes full throttle, it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm definitely psyched to see Green Lantern's daughter join the team. So it'll be
Mhm.
really exciting when more episodes come in.
Yeah, no, definitely. Jenny was great to work with. Issa Pinero, who actually plays Jenny, is just like terrific. We had a great time on set. But yeah, I last night's episode was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I wanted to watch it live, but I could not make it in time. So all I had to do was sit through Superman and Lois instead. So
That's
well,
okay. And hey, like like when you come back and also like you have all that time saved up and you could skip through the commercials. It's nice. It's not, it's
yeah, for
perfect. That's
sure.
what I do, honestly. I never watch it live.
I tried to watch some of them live, but sometimes I can't. I don't like going through the commercials.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Too
I
many
don't blame
commercials
you.
for me.
I know it's ridiculous, but hey, cable.
So, how did you end up getting the role of Mike for Stargirl?
um, I auditioned for Stargirl in probably November of 2018, and a long time ago. So I got the audition, and I thought it was just a regular comedy pilot. And then I got to the second scene of the audition. There was two scenes. There was one from the pilot, and there was one from episode 9 of season 1, which was just a really dramatic, good scene between Breck and I. So there was this really comedic scene, there was this really dramatic scene. So I wasn't quite sure what the script was like. I didn't know if it was a comedy pilot or if it was a drama. It was a little bit of in between. It was a little bit of an anomaly. I really liked the script. I had this kind of minute or two of improv at the very end, which I added on, which Jeff, the showrunner, eventually was like, that little minute of improv that you added actually ended up getting you the role. And it took a long time for me to even get a call for Stargirl. I booked it off the tape. So I sent my tape in November, and then probably in April, or no, actually probably like March, I got a call from Jeff saying that I got it. So it was not really much in between. It was just I had a tape in November, and a few months later I got the call.
That's awesome. When did you? How would you react to finding out that you were going to be a part of DC Comics?
Well, I was never a huge DC Comics fan. I was somewhat into Marvel, and I mean I guess my favorite superhero for a long time was Batman. So I that's not necessarily true, but yeah, I wasn't into DC Comics too much before, but being on the show has got me into DC Comics a lot more. But yeah, it was just I think the biggest thing was just like a Warner Brothers production was like, it's like that's amazing. I always used to live next to Warner Brothers when I lived in LA, and it was just like something that would be, I always thought like it would be really cool to like have your poster up on, the Warner Brothers wall and stuff like that. And finally that, kind of came to fruition. So that whole thing was fun for me in general, and it was just like a definitely a big achievement, definitely.
So you say you were a comic book fan, but you weren't into DC at the time.
Mhm.
What it's because of the show that you started reading the comics and watching all the other shows and movies?
I I started reading the comics once I got the show. Yes, actually, Jeff told me that on the DC Universe app, like there were Stars and Stripes on there, so I started reading those like in my free time, like on my phone, and it gave me a lot of insight about the character and how it was originally written, etc., like that. Uh, and I guess in the sense of I didn't really start watching more superhero movies. I didn't really start watching more superhero shows. It was just like when like when someone would come up on my YouTube or Instagram, stuff like that, it would just I would have more interest in it because I was like, okay, like I kind of know what's going on. So it's like it was more like surface level stuff, definitely, but I got a lot more familiar with all of Jeff's work, that's for sure, and James Robinson. And I really just got an idea of how involved they are in DC. They're really they're great guys that are really running this big you know corporation, which is insane because they're just like the nicest people on the planet. So yeah, it's just it was just really fun kind of getting to know everyone involved with DC more than actually even getting involved in, watching DC's stuff.
And I'm the same way because, like you, I was more into Marvel than DC.
Mm,
Because growing up, there weren't a lot of DC movies
yeah,
out, so there was a lot more Marvel involved. So when I started watching the DC TV show, like The Flash and Arrow, I became so much more interested in that, and I started learning a lot more DC from the TV shows. But then we got to like the entertainment universe, like there's like Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Some of the movies, but I prefer the TV shows a whole lot more.
definitely. I think that, DC's universe just knocked all of the other, superhero shows out of the water. But, like also the thing is that like with Loki, who, Owen Wilson's doing Loki and all these new Disney Plus shows, like they're also doing terrific. Like Loki, I think is like a terrific show. Number one,
Yeah, for sure.
it's a great watch. It's really, exciting. But yeah, I completely agree. Like I always watched, like Arrow in passing. I always watched all these different superhero shows in passing because my friends always did. And honestly, like when I got the role, my friends were probably more excited than me because I was like, I'm on this DC shows. Like, I don't watching DC, and they're like, no way, is it in the Arrowverse? Blah, 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 stuff like that. And I was like, I can't answer any of these questions because I don't know. But it was exactly. So yeah, it was definitely interesting because now that I do think of it, there was a lot of people around me that were really involved in it. But yeah, DC superhero shows are definitely
And I
very
gotta admit, I
captivating.
had no idea who Stargirl was until the show was coming out. So I bought the graphic novel and I was like obsessed because I was like, how did I not know who this character was until now?
I and it's such a great little story that Jeff put together, and the fact that he wrote it like while he was my age was like is even better. Like to really to imagine yourself, writing something like that young and it finally coming to fruition and actually being like a popular show. It must be an amazing feeling.
And now that you're a part of the DC universe, what do you enjoy most about being a part of the show and working with the cast and the crew?
Well, I think I honestly exactly that. It's just the cast and crew and everyone is amazing. It makes it doesn't even feel like you're a part of a bigger franchise whatsoever because it's so intimate and like and small and nice and like home feeling, I guess. So it really is kind of interesting because you're on set with these people every day and then they like literally become your family. They become just like you become absurdly close with these people because you're literally with them for almost every day for 7 months. It's absurd. But yeah, that's the best part. I guarantee you, if you ask anyone on this show, they'll tell you that this cast and crew is the best cast and crew they've ever worked with, and it just makes the show like such a great experience because you really just having fun with your friends is really what going on set is like. And there's a lot of sets out there. I've heard a lot of horror stories, and I've heard and a lot of my close friends, they're like, like I just had an awful time on this set. I was like, it's like, really, I can't believe that. Like, like our set is like so homey and amazing. So yeah, it's just really great vibe that honestly comes from the top down. Jeff just makes everything so homey and like and warm and like cozy that yeah, that's the best thing about this show and DC probably in general.
That's fantastic. Last season when I spoke with Jake Austin Walker and Neil Hopkins, they said the exact same thing you said, that how much they enjoyed their time on the set. That's more like a family than working on a show.
Yeah, definitely. And it's yeah, we're just really we're all very lucky to be a part of this because we know how rare it is to actually have such a great feeling like this on set because it is a rare feeling. Unfortunately not every set is like this, so it's like once you like find that, you're just like you just want to hold on to it. So
Now you guys have worked on so many episodes on the show since season one. What was your favorite scene or episode to film?
to come.
Yeah, to film. What's your favorite scene
Oh, to
or
film.
episode?
Yeah, honestly, episode 3 of season 2 was terrific. Episode 9 of season 2, Hunter Sansone and I actually share an episode,
Oh,
which
that's
is
awesome.
yeah, which is really fun. It's directed by Andy, who's one of my favorite directors in the show. Also, Leah Thompson does also direct episode 3. We had a great time. That was great because episode 3, which is coming out next week, actually. is really just centers around Mike completely. So like it was really fun because literally it was just me and Leah all day every day for like 2 weeks. So we got really close during that time on set, and it was literally just us going from transpo to transpo, different locations, getting little shots here and there. And it was really fun. It was just like, I think those times where you're on location late or early, and you really just kind of build these connections with, like, your directors or your stunt guys, prop guys, blah blah. That's like the most fun to me. And when you can really have time, it's like, hey, this is your episode, so you have time to look over the material, you have time to go over notes with the director, and it just makes everything so much more fun. So like when I had that episode and I had my shoot dates and everything, like I was ecstatic because I knew that we were gonna have a great time because we had everything planned out. I was on the phone with Leah every day before shooting. We had everything done ahead of schedule, and it was just a really fun episode to film. So yeah, probably episode 3 and episode 9.
I'm looking forward to it. I definitely look forward to every new episode that comes out,
Yeah.
whether it's on a week or in 2 weeks. I get psyched no matter what. Uh, while I was excited to see Green Lantern's daughter, I'm also excited to see Jay Garrick come to screen for Stargirl,
Mhm.
John Wesley Ship. Because I watched him on everything, like The Flash and the 90s Flash. So that would be really exciting to see how he comes into your universe.
Yeah, that I had the chance to watch a scene that John Wesley was doing with Luke, and it was terrific. He's a great guy, great actor, and that's the fun stuff about DC, is that stuff can happen. You can get an actor from another show that is like amazing, and they just like come on for an episode or two, and like it's just really fun doing that stuff. But yeah, you're not going to be disappointed. Episode 9 is where I think John Wesley Shipp's character um appears. I'm pretty sure it's episode 9, something like that.
I'm
But
looking
yeah,
forward
it's
to
going to
it.
be a great episode.
I know that there is no multiverse anymore, so like everything is like combined in one Earth now. So I think that's where everything kind of connects.
Yeah, no, that's going to be, and who knows what's going to happen in season 3?
Who knows? You could be
Who knows?
you could be working with Grant Gustin or the Legends. Who knows?
Yeah, no, exactly. You never know.
So based on what I watched from episode 1 of the premiere of season 2, it seems like Pat doesn't want Mike involved with any JSA related things. But it looks like Cindy has a plan to recruit him in the ISA. Would you rather be a hero or a villain?
Personally, I think, all right, personally, I'd probably rather be a villain, honestly. That seems a lot more appealing to me. It looks like a lot of fun, I guess. And honestly, just the way that Stargirl handles their villains, like, even the way that they were just setting up the shade for episode 2. I forgot how like good all of these villain characters are. They're written so well. Like I would just love to be, written as like a villain for once, and just
Yeah.
to see how that they would, make Mike. Yeah, I would want to be a villain. I think that would be fun. There's always the possibility of getting killed off, but it's a sacrifice. So but yeah, I would probably say I would be a villain. I don't know if Mike is gonna kind of be in this gray area for a little bit. We don't know if he's really gonna be a villain or a good guy for a little bit. But um we shall see. It's all up to Jeff.
Don't see. All we know is that he's being left out at this point.
Yes, exactly. Not for long, but yes, for a little bit longer.
Season 2 wrapped up filming a couple months ago. Are you currently working on anything new at this time?
There was a couple maybes during this last hiatus, and next hiatus, look out because there might be something going on, but not at the moment. It was a really laid back hiatus. We only had a few months off, and honestly, I just was kicking it this hiatus. Like as with a lot of the rest of the cast, we were just so exhausted from season 2 that we kind of just didn't really do anything else. So yeah, I'm really like looking forward and hopefully doing like like a little indie film over this next hiatus or something like that, to fill the time. But as of right now, no, because everything's really slow still.
Yeah,
And it's I'm just looking forward to getting back to work and getting back in the groove. But yeah, for right now, no, I'm just kicking it. I'm just hanging out.
I'm the same here because I'm like just not working, just chilling out. What do you like to do in your free time?
My free time, I write a lot. I that's like I've probably been writing for as long as I've been acting, but recently I've just been taking it extremely serious because I really do want to build a film portfolio. Just a few short films that I just really want to do very well, very, thought out, very, artistically driven, I guess.
Right.
So, that's kind of my goal for the next 12 months is to really just make a few of these short films that I've been wanting to make for a long time. And I have everything set up. I have all of my, like it's so funny growing up in the industry and growing up like as an actor is like there's so many people like that you think about through your life. They're like, I've met a lot of great actors in my life, and a lot of them aren't working yet. A lot of them haven't been, haven't gotten their big thing yet, blah blah blah, stuff like that. And you're talking to your friends that you're like, hey, you're an incredible actor, like let's do something. And that's what always like drove me is just making things with your friends. That's what Luke did with Wes and Owen, Bottle Rocket and all of Wes's films and things of that nature. And yeah, I was honestly really inspired by Luke. He always told me that. He was like, don't wait for the phone to ring, make it ring yourself, make your own stuff, da 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 da. So yeah, I'm just really focusing on that. I'm really excited to make my own stuff soon. I play guitar. I've been playing for a long time, and I just started school again, which is it's school, so what are you going to do? But yeah, I'm just getting through it right now, wait until we start filming. And I think that this next 12-18 months is going to be very eventful, definitely.
Well, that's definitely great advice from Luke there. That was pretty cool to hear.
Yeah, yeah.
Funny because I like to write too, but nothing worth sharing at this time yet. It's still a work in progress.
Hey,
Yeah.
everything's always a work in progress until it's not.
I will say that I'm spreading awareness for autism because I have autism. So I kind of want to share more stories about that somewhere out there because I felt
That's
like
amazing.
disabilities are being overlooked.
Yeah, and that's a great trend that I feel that is happening. And with more of these streaming services and more of these different, with so much content coming out, there's so many voices that are being heard more now than ever. And there's such a like an influx of content that people need that like a little while ago you would think, hey, oh, I'm trying to be a writer. That's like, okay, yeah, like whatever. But now you really think about it, and there's so much content that's being needed right now, is
Mhm.
that this is the time to really invest in that craft,
Exactly.
which is yeah,
Share your art, share your writing pieces, and just put it out there. Like I
exactly,
share that with
exactly.
everyone on social media, and I definitely get connected with celebrities as well, and I meet them at Comic Cons, and everyone kind of knows me already, kind of. But it's just great to be able to share what I have to share.
Yeah, that's no, that's amazing. Like I'm really actually happy for you because whenever you hear about someone that's like writing or starting to write, or like even a few of my friends who have been writing probably for like longer, as long as I have, and I'm always like, bro, like get this script out, send this to someone. Like I'm always like the pep talk friend that are like, they send me their scripts and they're like, I don't know, bro, and I'm like, dude, this is amazing, like you have to send this to someone. And then one day they do, and they're like, hey, we're interested in your script. I'm like, that's like a feeling to me that's like no other, is just like, seeing your friends just like really like kind of excel in that stuff. But yeah, now's the time is the bottom line. Now is the time to really just
Sure.
put everything out there.
Hopefully, once I finish, it'll be out there at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And just don't hold back. Send it to, like, that's the thing that I've learned is have no shame. No shame in your game. Literally just be like, hey, you want to read a script? I got you. I'll send it to you. Just no. Yeah, don't hold back.
All right. Well, it was really great talking with you today, Trae. I had so much fun getting to get to know you and talk about Stargirl.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. And I'm always down to talk with you. This is a great time.
No problem. And I'll send a link to Grace when our chat is up on YouTube, and I'll have it sent to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Okay.
Thank you, Trae. Great talking to you.
Of course. Thanks so much. I'll see you.
Everybody.
Yeah.